They say you should never cross your boss. But what if your boss is the one crossing every line? My name is Rachel Morgan, and this is the story of how I stood up to my abusive manager and won. If you were in my shoes, would you have fought back, or would you have kept your head down? Landing a job at Westbridge Financial was supposed to be my big break. I'd worked hard for my degree, built my resume, and finally, this was my chance to prove myself. The office looked perfect, sleek, modern, buzzing with ambition. And my manager, Daniel Price, he was practically a legend at the company. People said he was tough but fair, a results machine. On my first day, he shook my hand. Firm grip, confident smile. "Welcome to the team, Rachel. I expect great things from you." At first, I was eager to impress, stayed late, volunteered, made sure every report was flawless, and in those first weeks, he seemed pleased. He'd nod in meetings and sometimes even compliment my work. But then it changed. It started small. "You're not as quick as I expected. Maybe this job is too much for you." Then sharper. Comments about my voice, my appearance, even the way I took notes. One morning, I arrived early to find a stack of files dumped on my desk. A sticky note on top. "Fix these. You made a mess." The problem? They weren't even my files. When I tried to explain, Mr. Price cut me off in front of the team. "Excuses, Rachel. That's all I ever hear from you." Silence. Everyone stared. My cheeks burned, and from that moment on, people started avoiding me. The pressure got worse. Feedback sessions that felt like interrogations. Midnight emails demanding revisions by sunrise. And always the same threat. "Maybe you're just not cut out for this." I started doubting myself. Maybe I really was failing. Sleep slipped away, my confidence shattered. Until one night, I overheard him. "She's not going to last. I'll make sure of it." That's when I knew. This wasn't about performance. He was trying to break me. I tried to get help. HR brushed me off. "He's demanding, but he gets results. Maybe you just need to toughen up." I felt invisible, powerless. Until one afternoon, I found an email. He dissented to the entire team, blaming me for a field project I hadn't even touched. And worse, he'd signed my name on the report. That's when it hit me. This wasn't just bullying. This was sabotage. I started documenting everything. Every cruel comment, every fake accusation, every midnight demand. And I wasn't the only one. Sarah Kim, a quiet analyst, pulled me aside. She'd been through the same nightmare. He'd destroyed her career until she finally left. Together, we compared notes. Patterns emerged. Falsified emails, fake mistakes, manipulation, all designed to protect his reputation and crush anyone in his way. We had a decision to make: stay silent or fight back. Fighting back meant risk. If I failed, my career could be over. But if I did nothing, he'd win. So Sarah and I gathered everything: emails, screenshots, witness notes. I even recorded one of his so-called feedback sessions. His words dripped with venom. "You're useless. I don't know why I haven't fired you yet." When we finally walked into HR with our evidence, I was shaking. My voice trembled as I laid it all out. For a long time, they just stared at the pile of proof. Then the questions started. Dates, names, explanations. Finally, one of them said, "We'll investigate this immediately." It was the first time I felt like maybe, just maybe, the truth could win. But Mr. Price wasn't about to go down quietly. The next few weeks felt like a war zone. I knew HR was investigating, and so did he. He tried to turn the office against me. Whispered rumors, cold glares, even more impossible deadlines. Then one afternoon, he cornered me in his office. "You think you're clever, Rachel? Going behind my back? You're finished here." I held my ground. My voice shook, but I said it anyway. "No, Mr. Price, you're finished." For the first time, he looked caught off guard. The investigation wrapped up shortly after. The evidence was undeniable. Multiple employees came forward. It wasn't just me. It was a pattern. And just like that, Daniel Price was terminated. Walking into the office the next day, the atmosphere had changed. People smiled at me. Conversations started again. It felt like a cloud had finally lifted. But just when I thought it was over, I got a letter. One sentence. "You'll regret this." The letter shook me. I won't lie. For a moment, all the old fear came rushing back. But I wasn't the same person anymore. I wasn't powerless. I saved the letter, sent it to HR, and then I moved forward. I stepped into a new role, employee support coordinator. Now I wasn't just surviving, I was helping others. We launched workshops on respect, confidential counseling, safe channels to report abuse. And slowly, the culture shifted. Jenna, who once wanted to quit, was promoted. Sarah found happiness at a new job, and the company finally felt like a place people wanted to be. One day, Miss Patel from HR gave me a plaque. "For courage and leadership, Rachel Morgan." I hadn't set out to be a hero. I just wanted to survive. But in standing up for myself, I helped others find their strength too. As for Daniel Price, word spread. His reputation crumbled. Last I heard, he left the state, trying to start over. And maybe part of me felt sorry for him. But in the end, accountability matters. He finally faced his. Looking back, I realized revenge isn't about destroying someone else. It's about reclaiming your power, refusing to be silent. My dream job didn't turn out the way I expected, but I found something better: my voice. And now I ask you, what would you have done in my place? Would you have stood up or kept your head down? Let me know in the comments below. And remember, sometimes the bravest thing you can do is simply refuse to be silent.